Thank you, Lord, for giving us the opportunity to be here and doing this. And I feel honored to be here, and myself, and I think that I can speak for everyone else, that it's an honor to be able to sit on this board. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Luzzo. Okay, next item of business was approval of minutes from our last meeting. Those minutes went out in your packet. I assume everybody has had the opportunity to review those. Do we have any corrections that we need to have staff make? Okay. If there are no corrections, do we have a
Make
motion?
a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Okay, moving on to new business. Our first order of business is we have 3 of our past board members that have rotated off, and city has prepared some certificates of appreciation for them. And so I'll step down for a moment and we'll present those. First up, we have Kit Paraguay for 6 years of service. We appreciate your time on board.
Do show, do show.
We're not going to require speech. Next, we have Ms. Dorothea White. And we'll have everybody back up for a photo, Greg. Okay, all right. And so this is also for 6 years of service. We thank you very much for your service. And then we have Byron Lawson. Okay, and this is for 3 years of service. Thank you, and we certainly appreciate that. Okay, Morgan, how would you like us to?
How about right over there?
Okay.
Right there, put that, and I'm gonna send this into the paper. And you cannot hear this in the message.
That's all we know. That's all right, I got it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. And one more just in case. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Okay. Our next item of business is consideration of a final plat for Rivertowne Square Lot number 1. And we'll have staff give us the description of this item. And one thing I'd like to remind everybody before Morgan gets started is we had amendments to the ordinance that the Board of Aldermen approved, and in those amendments, one of the changes was placing final plat approval at the feet of the Planning and Zoning Board. So our motions tonight will either be to approve or to disapprove the final plat. We're not recommending to the Board of Aldermen. We are final action.
Okay, thank you all very much. This is the final plan for Rivertowne Square. This is very familiar to you all. We discussed this, I believe, at our August meeting. It was approved unanimously. This is the Walmart Shopping Center. Chipotle and Panera are located at Lot 1A. This is fairly simple because it's already existing. We're just chopping it in half.
Drawing a line.
Yeah, just drawing the line. If you have any questions for me, feel free, but I have nothing further this evening.
Okay, do we have any discussion from the board? As Morgan said, you recall that we recommended approval of the preliminary plat that went to the Board of Aldermen. They also approved, and so this is the final plat we have before us for action.
Was there a question about the exit on there? Looked like to me, if I recollect wrong.
Total acreage is 12.86,
It's who?
2.86.
I'm saying exit. I thought there was a discussion about.
Yes, the total's 12.86, yes, sir.
You said acreage or exit?
Acreage, I'm sorry, I thought you said acreage.
Exit. I thought we had a discussion.
The
about
exits.
Exit. From
Last,
that.
the last time we met, I don't believe we had any concerns over the exits, because it's already an established subdivision. There's already one means of egress on the far side to the east, and there's one also to the west.
In what location, if I can remember? I mean,
Both are on the south portion of Lot 1A.
Near,
Yes, sir. One approximately here, one approximately here.
okay.
Yes, sir. And there is an existing easement to the far east.
Okay.
I think that's what you were thinking about is that easement question. We had a statement about that. That's what it was.
That must have been it.
That's the E word you remember, something about the easement.
In any case, I so believe that if it's okay, that
Yeah.
the final site plan be approved.
Entertain a motion.
Second.
What's the advantage of doing this?
Okay, well, let's, we don't need to open this up for a public hearing, I don't believe on this one, do we? Or, yeah, I think we can approve it, okay. So we have a motion and a second.
I'll move to approve it.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a motion and a second, and so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank
Motion
you.
carries.
Thank you.
And so that approval is contingent upon the plat being recorded within 1 year of today's date.
I'll coordinate with you. Okay, moving on, I have some very large plans to hand to you all, just for ease.
Yeah, sure.
This will just make life a little easier for you all to see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I won't be mad at you for this. You can have this space.
All right, so
Okay, so our next item of business is consideration of a planned unit development general plan for Southwind at Bluewater Rise. This is submitted on behalf of A-Sides Construction by Thomas Engineering. And Morgan, if you would like to present the item to us, the description?
yes, sir, absolutely. What you have in front of you this evening is the consideration of a planned unit development known as Southwind at Bluewater Rise. This is approximately 86.5 acres. It is proposed 156 lots. It's R20 zoned. The average lot size is approximately 26,000 square feet. The minimum is 20,000. We have reviewed the proposed general plan in August at our departmental review. And out of that, there were some concerns expressed regarding the road widths. And staff is recommending at this time a continuance for this so we can work out those kinks with the owner and the developer and the engineer to get those road widths to what they should be per the ordinance. And that is staff's recommendation this evening.
Okay. Thank you, Morgan.
Yes.
Is the applicant here? I see
Yes,
John.
he is present.
Is there any objections to the continuance?
Not at all.
Okay.
We've got some time on this, and we'll go from that, give the staff to work out a couple of the details. And, just one question, are you going to open the public hearing and then continue that process?
Yep. I'm going to open the public hearing, and we'll continue it, and then we'll pick it up at our next meeting. Certainly. So at this time, I will open the public hearing. But what we'll do is we'll continue it to our next meeting. At such time, we'll entertain any public comment. Public meeting will remain open. At this time, I'll need a motion from a member of the board and a second to continue this item.
I'll move to continue it until the next meeting.
Okay. We have a motion. We have a second. All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the item is continued. Thank you. Okay, that takes care of our new business. On to other items. We don't have any old business. There are two things on here, and I'm going to allow staff to give us updates on both of these. First, we'll start with board vacancies.
Yes. We have 2 vacancies presently. The Craven County will be appointing someone at their November 7th meeting. This member will be a member of the ETJ. It's kind of a small pool to pick from, but they will find us a very good and capable person who will be willing to serve. Also, I am expecting an appointment from Ward 1 very soon. I think we have an applicant who's very interested in filling that position. Mr. Jeffrey Midget as well has been appointed. He could not be present this evening due to a death in the family, but he has been appointed, and hopefully by the end of November, we'll have a full board back.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And the next item we have is the Historic Preservation Guidelines update.
Yes. This has been a very long process for the HPC. We have been working very hard to update these guidelines to make it more user-friendly for the citizens of New Bern. We've held 2 open houses. We will also be holding a 3rd and final open house November the 14th. It will be at Development Services, which is 303 First Street in our conference room. It's floating, but it will go from 1 till 4. We'll have a presentation. HPC members will be there to answer questions if the public has any. We strongly encourage everyone to attend. Planning and zoning will eventually get the chance to review the guidelines for incorporation into land use ordinance. And after it goes from you, then it will go to the board of Aldermen. The Historic Preservation Commission will look at all of the public comment that we received prior to, take it into account, incorporate it into the document if they feel necessary prior to them giving it to you off your approval.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the update.
And it's a large document. I will probably have to mail you a copy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you. I think that is all of the items on our agenda. Anything else we need to discuss before I request a motion to adjourn?
I have a concern, based on the Alderman decision on the Clark Avenue property. That, I think my sister's group, I'm gonna call it that anyway. I knew I wasn't a tie vote we had up,
Correct, and it went to the alderman.
and I understand, well, if I recollect correctly, the, city staff didn't want to approve that rezoning.
No, sir, we did not recommend approval for either the Planning and Zoning Board or the Board of Aldermen.
So, based on your decision, the decision of the Planning and Zoning Board, was that, did that influence the alderman on their decision? Or what kind of influence did you have as far as rezoning that property? And one more thing I want to ask. Then the neighbors came in, they were concerned about that.
Yes.
What arises my concern was the sign large enough so the neighbors could see it. And a discussion had came up about enlarging the sign. I did pay a visit down on Clark Avenue, and I did hear some talk against that. And I let the folks know that there was a public hearing held, and they still opposed it within the, I guess, little groups. So the question I'm asking, making a statement, did we ever come up with placing a larger sign out, so the neighbors or the resident could see it more clearly?
Just
Or-
to asking about sign size in general that we had talked about for notice of public hearing.
Right.
Okay.
We could
And-
certainly look into that.
And I can't get in the Alderman's mind. I know they take recommendation from staff and of course the planning and zoning board. Another question I want to ask, I guess I'm popping them up. Why wasn't a member of the planning and zoning board asked to speak before the Alderman so they could get our feedback or feelings?
They were provided the minutes from the meeting. The Board of Aldermen were provided the copy of the minutes from the Planning and Zoning Board meeting. And it has always been procedure for staff to write a recommendation
Correct.
and to present the case. Several people were present that evening speaking, some in favor of and some against the proposal. There was a newspaper advertisement done properly, as well as the sign. We can certainly look into doing a larger sign. That is a possibility. We could do that as well. And the property owner notifications did go out as well.
It may be more colorful. You know,
Something
still using
bright.
the blue sign and it's so that really concerns me.
Yeah, so the Board of Aldermen can at any time request that members or a member of the Planning and Zoning Board or any other city board be present at a Alderman meeting, to field questions. But I don't think that, I mean, their request was not made for that particular meeting, so.
And I have one more question. If by chance that the vote had been 5-3, would that waive the decision of the Alderman's any? I'm just trying to see what authority or where do we stand
Well,
as a planning and zoning board.
yeah, we make recommendations. So as a rule, other than the first item we dealt with tonight, our motions are a motion to recommend approval or a motion to recommend disapproval. And so based on our action, that then goes to the alderman in the form of the minutes, and they see that either we, as a group, recommend that they either approve or recommend that they disapprove, or in the case of the particular item you're talking about, we had a split, in fact, a tie. And so they received, those minutes and saw who voted for, who voted against, and the discussion that went along with. And so they had that information, in their hands prior to their meeting.
Well, I was thinking about being a tie. It kind of put them on the spot where we got to break this. So it was a mutual decision among them. But I still want to know if it was 6-2. Is it likely that it would pass or?
I can't speak to what the end result would be for the Board of Aldermen. They do make the final decision. I think it being a tie is where it did get a little bit complicated.
Okay.
But it was a unanimous vote from the Board of Aldermen. We had a great public turnout. We had a great public hearing. Everything went very, very smooth. I would say we probably had about a good 15 people speak at the meeting.
Okay.
Ultimately, as a board, we make recommendations to the Board of Aldermen. They can choose to follow that recommendation or do something, do the opposite. So we merely make recommendations. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Dillon?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
All right. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
We
Second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.